Oh, hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. It's Wednesday evening here in the UK, which means one thing. Oh yes, it is time, of course, for Creative Cravings, that one show of the week where we maybe take things a little bit more back to basics. Having said that, there is something for everyone to learn in the next couple of hours. There is also shed loads of great deals as well in this show for you two. You're all going to have the loveliest of times. Do you know what we're going to have the loveliest of times? Craig Laird's here with us. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really well. Creative Cravings, where we step it back a bit. But do you know what? I thought, why does Debbie Fisher get all the fun when it comes to the Dragonfly collection?
Why does she get all the fun?
I screamed, I threw ink pads, I tossed Gilding flakes all over the place until I got my way. We're going to be having a look at the Dragonfly collection. So what we're going to do is we'll show you some finished samples of
yes, please.
the collections that we're going to be focused on throughout Creative Cravings. But let's start off with the Dragonfly collection here. This is absolutely beautiful. This is 110% going to complement your hummingbird collection if you got that one from Nature's Garden. But you can create the most beautiful cards, projects, home decor items when it comes to this collection here. I know Joe will go over the full collection just shortly. A few elements that you've not seen before, or at least one of them anyway, that you'll have never seen before. Actually two of them, because I've just spotted another one on this finished card here. But really beautiful cards. So if you're going big, if you're going bold, if you're making a statement, you can absolutely do that with the Dragonfly collection. But then what you can also do is go small and go elegant if you want. So that's the Dragonfly collection we're going to have a look at, and we are going to do a demo first of all. But what we're also going to be having a look at throughout the show on Creative Cravings is our Create a Card range, our intricate die collection range. We've got two of them on the show. So this is one set that we're going to be having a look at. That's just two finished samples that we can see from in that range here. But then what we're going to do is the statement die. So these are the kind of, I call them the over the edge, because they pop up from over the edge of the card just for you. What we've got within this one here, showing how you can create your aperture that we've got in here. And then we're going into our second range of our intricate die collection, this being your Create a Card. You've got your image that cuts into your card, but what you can do is use the outline die and cut it out of your card. So whether you're going to be doing any of the inking that you'll have maybe seen within Masterclass earlier on, maybe you're going to tie in some of the Dragonfly papers or vellums or resist cardstock in with these ones, you can absolutely do that. But a nice, really, really nice selection. Stamping, embossing, die cutting within Creative Cravings tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, loads of variety for you, which is amazing. And also the most important part of the show is you. So get involved. If you want to get in touch, you can. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion. If you are across on YouTube, get in touch. You are. Eve is saying hello from Kansas. Hi, Eve. Laurie's in Wisconsin. Pam E is here in New York. I see Mary Rhino in Maine as well, which is awesome. Right then, we're going to dive in and have a look at the Dragonflies, which are these ones just here. So let me take you through the whole collection. The brilliant thing is, Craig, the whole collection is still available that we launch, which is brilliant. So what that means is you can get that right now and snap that up. Let's start with a paper pad, which is the first one just here. So this is a 12 by 12 paper pad that you are going to receive. The colours are just off the chart, aren't they? Absolutely beautiful. You've got the Dragonfly imagery all the way through, loads of florals, really sort of classic timeless designs on all of these. The 12 by 12 is brilliant because you can cut that down as well, which is always awesome. And you can see here all of the different designs that you are getting included. Now, you're not going to get it just in the 12 by 12, you will also get it in the 6 by 6 pad too. So loads of different options when it comes to how you are going to put these together. So that is your 12 by 12. There's the 6 by 6 as well, that will come included for you too. We've also done the vellums in the 8 by 8 here too, and these are matching the imagery that was within the 12 by 12 also. And you can see the vellum's got really lovely opacity to it, really nice thick heavy duty vellum there on that one. And again, the same awesome designs running all the way through there. Right, next up you have got this one just here. This is your resist pad, which is amazing. So it's your 8x8 resist pad. This is how it's going to start out, and then you're going to ink this up. Love this as well, because rather than giving you just an embossed cardstock, give you the option to colour it exactly how you want, which is amazing. So you can see all of the different designs that are
and it's the colour
there
as well. You can colour it what you want. So if you want every single colour to be toned as green, you can do green. You know, you're not dictated to the colour that we give you. So you've got that option.
Yeah, most amount of versatility, which is always what you want. You will, of course, get the luxury cardstock in there as well, in those gorgeous colours, which will tie the whole collection together. Let's have a little look at what else is coming in here. So you have got the ribbons in here, 6 metres in length, which is beautiful. And again, the same colour tones running all the way through. These charms are awesome, because the great thing about the charms is it's lovely to have a little movable element on your project, or give it some extra interest. These are going to be fantastic for that. This is something new that we've not done before as well. It's your fantasy film, which is amazing. How it's catching the light just there. Really, really beautiful. This is going to be the bit of the collection actually that breaks the collection, as we say. So this will be the first element that goes. So if you're ordering extras of those, you want to get them individually, you will need to be quick for them. We then move into the bridge. I love that certain elements, it's quite painterly, this collection. It's a sort of a slightly oriental feeling to it, doesn't it? Which is nice.
It does.
It means it's going to work with things like your chinoiserie collection. The colourway is going to work beautifully with your masquerade collection as well. So think about all the other things that you're going to use this with. That's your water lily border. We then have some sentiments. It's lovely to have some die-cut sentiments in this kind of size. We normally would opt for a stamp of this size, but brilliant that they are in there. Then you've got your water lily frame with those 2 extra embellishing dragonflies too. Paper piecing is going to be beautiful there. Make sure you get those hold and release sheets that we've got over on the website. This one here is your dainty dragonfly. Again, you've got the outside edge there too, so you can create the mat and the layer that goes on there. A beautiful embossing folder, again, that's pulling in the same imagery that you've got on that bridge, which is gorgeous. Loving these. Dream big. You are so special to me. Birthday wishes. You're going to be able to use these with and away from this collection. Things like have faith in there. Quite generic. Then you have got this one. Now, I don't know if we've done a credit card and a stencil together before. I don't recall, do you?
I can't, not a die, no. I can't recall it either.
We do stamps and stencils all the time, but this is a really nice big credit card die with a removable edge, so you can cut it in or cut it out, and then the stenciling on there as well, so you can really start to add all of that detail, which is wonderful. And of course you've then got the water lily included too, a really gorgeous stamp and die set, quite tropical, that one. 119.99 or 155.95, great value. Consider you are saving £40 you are saving there, or 52.20. This is current release stock. This was launched just on Monday, yet we are able to bring you an awesome discount. However, I know what a lot of you end up doing in this situation. A lot of you end up thinking, oh, do you know what, I'll get an extra vellum, I'll get an extra printed papers, and I'll get a luxury cardstock. So what we've done is giving you the option to do that in one click, which is fantastic. The great thing here as well is that if you are going for this and you're a platinum member, you will get free shipping and handling in the US, which is awesome. $159.96 or $123.19. So you've got the extra 12x12. You've also got the extra foiled, the extra luxury cardstock and the extra foiled cardstock, which is amazing. It really is a big, big collection. I think you get an awful lot for your money in there. If you want to get in touch with me, you can. Crafty TV on Facebook, Crafty's Companion over on YouTube. But he's waited long enough. I think we should let him get his crafty paws all over this brand new collection. What do you say, Craig?
I think we absolutely should do. I think we should get cracking. Let's make a lovely card. Well, I think it's going to be a lovely card. You will soon find out. You'll soon decide for yourself. So what we're going to do to start off with, I've just taken some of my own nesting dies that I've got at home, which are my circles, 6" by 6". And what I've done is I've created my own easel card. So create my easel card, that all that we need to do is pop that on the front, and this has been made using our multi-purpose card. But if you wanted to make it even more luxurious, you could of course create your base with some of that cardstock that is in the collection. Of course, as much as I love my family and friends, I am always going to create the bases of my card with the multi-purpose cardstock and then decorate on top. So what I've also already done as well, using that pearlescent navy blue and one of the pattern papers, I've gone in and I've done a matting layer. Now, the navy blue is 5.5 by 5.5, and then the pattern paper is 5 by 5. So that gives you a little indication when it comes to the size of the circles I've used, or if you've not got nesting dies, but you've got a bladed electronic cutting machine, then you know the sizes that you can then cut by popping it into the machine. So layer that one on, and then what I've also already done as well, repeated that step, but I've just cut a little flat edge at the top. That's going to enable me to pop my layer in the middle, and it's going to enable my my actual concept of the easel to open and close without an edge of the circle stopping it from doing so. So all that I'm going to do is I'm layering up my tape. This is just my tissue tape that we have on our website. As I say time and time again, that is my go-to adhesive. And I did say, what am I way to say it last week? I noticed there was a comment on Facebook as well saying about how you could use your tape runners and that, which you can do. But I've used my tissue tape since day one of my crafting, that I am just as quick as you see using it. In some cases, I'm probably quicker than my tape runner, even popping the tape on. So my preference, but of course, you know by now, we've got all our different adhesives that you can use. So what I've also already done, because I didn't want to go through the simple steps of stamping and die cut and nesting dies. So using my stitched ed nesting die, so my silver layer is 2.5 by 2.5. Then the next size down, I've gone in and I have then stamped my sentiment onto multi-purpose card. You are the strong and you are beautiful. You are strong
how gorgeous
and you
is
are
that?
beautiful. Really nice little inspirational sentiments as well. If you have got your verse compendium, start to incorporate that as well. If you've got some of your verses from the Say It With Words, I know Sarah had it as a TS on HSN not that long ago. UK, don't worry, don't fear, don't panic. It is coming soon. So that is a little sentiment. So you could use an abundance of different sentiments if you want to. Then what I'm going to do is I've incorporated a little bit of my own Centura Pearl with a hint of silver. Use the gold if you want, but because I've used silver, that's what I'm going to use here. And then what I'm going to do is I had a leftover strip from my pearlescent, so hopefully, yep, just wide enough for me to then use my Dragonfly die on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few layers at first, Joe. So I'm still going to use my large Gemini. However, you will be able to use, well, actually all the elements within your Gemini Junior and your MIDI as well. So they're going to fit through them, even your embossing folder. But all that I'm going to do is I'm going to secure that. And what I'm also going to do at this same point as well, if I take a piece of Nina cardstock and I'm going to come in with this stamp and die set here. So we're going to go in with the water lily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut the flowers first, or the actual dies of them first, because this is where, for me, I prefer it to die cut then stamp. This is one of those techniques where you might find it easier to actually stamp then die cut. Personal preference.
Nee says you've got a very soothing voice, Craig.
I do. Oh, thank
Maybe
you.
we need to get you doing like the bedtime stories on CBeebies.
Oh gosh, no! You've heard and seen me trying to speak off of something. I ain't good at that.
Oh,
Imagine
okay.
me. I'd
Maybe
be
not.
stumbling over my bedtime stories.
If the casting agent is watching, it's a no from Craig. There you are.
Oh, I didn't say I wouldn't do it.
Oh!
I don't know. I didn't say I wouldn't do it.
Eve B says, big hello to Craig and Joe. You guys keep me smiling. Pammy is actually working on a card with this collection right this very second.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Mary's loving the embossing folder. Kathy can't wait to get there. Wendy loves the bridge as well. And Laurie says, and also says we make her smile. Well, if we're putting a smile on someone's face, we must be doing something
We
right,
must
Craig.
be. Yeah, we must be. As I always say, certainly when it comes to Crafters TV, you know, smiling or laughing. I don't care if you are laughing with us or even if you're laughing at me. I don't care. As long as you're laughing and smiling, that's the main thing. That is the main thing.
Mary Beth is
Centura
also saying-
Peril and Vellum.
Mary Beth saying hi from Minnesota. It's lunchtime there, watching whilst eating lunch. How delicious. I had a very nutritious dinner, Craig.
Did
you
you?
saw? Yes, I had a bag of crisps and a bar of chocolate. It was like being back at school. It's fabulous.
Yeah. Well, I've not had tea yet because after wake-up call, I nipped round the corners to the Golden Arches again.
Did you? I thought I saw you.
Yes.
I thought I saw a cheeky cup back there somewhere.
Yes, I did. I didn't know what I wanted to eat. Didn't know, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go around there again. But I did. Oh no, I was about to say I did have the healthy option with chips with no salt, but I didn't. I put salt on. At the moment, George is asking what my go-to is. At the moment, it's a very simple cheeseburger, fries, and full-fat Coke.
Cheeseburger, fries.
Cheeseburger.
Like a little one.
Well, just a normal cheeseburger, yeah.
Oh, the one in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheese.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't seem like a. It sounds like more like a sort of kids' meal than an actual meal.
Do you know something? Even at 36, I probably could get away with just having that meal that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Because, as what you guys know at home, my appetite's still not always great. So I could actually get away with it. But I don't like the toys you get nowadays.
Oh.
So, yeah, and
Are
sometimes
they
you don't
made
get...
out of cardboard these days?
Some of them, I think some of them are... Sometimes you get a nice little children's book or something. I'm not into reading. Certainly not children's books. Not children's books anyway.
I'm not into
so.
reading.
Although the closest to reading, ironically, I do like a good celebrity autobiography. I did buy The Bosses, so I've not started that yet, but yeah. So celebrity autobiographies is all that I tend to read. Oh, yes. That was what I had. So I'm still a little bit full from that. So I've not had tea.
Do you read, Craig?
Sorry?
Do you read? But as in like books, do you read books in your spare time for pleasure? Do you read books?
Did you not just listen to what I just said?
Didn't hear a single word of it. Sorry, I was listening to our producer. What did you say? Oh! Didn't hear any of that, sorry.
I said I'm not a reader, however, if I do read, all that I read is celebrity autobiographies.
I wasn't listening to you, sorry.
And ironically, the latest one I have bought The Bosses, so I need to start that. Other than that, I'm not a reader. And I've just spent about 25 seconds talking about that. And I'm looking at you going, is he being legit in what he's actually asking me?
No, I actually wasn't listening. Very many apologies.
Didn't think you were. But no, I'm not much of a reader, Joe. No.
So, do you read?
Do you read? Oh, you read? Oh, yes. Thanks, Joe. But yeah. Although, to be a prime example as well, prime example? No, wrong phrase. That just goes to show, because we do that here. You'll talk away and I'll just be in a world of my own.
Yeah, it happens a lot. And normally we're quite good at knowing if the other one is listening or not.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then
sometimes the questions are so stupid that there's just no masking it.
No, there's not. So sometimes you can fake it and be like, right, well, I just pretend to answer and I'll get away with it. And then sometimes you just look and you're like,
no getting around it.
No, just going, sorry, didn't listen to what you said there. It's not.
Oh, is it wrestling magazines you read?
No, because most of the content's online nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to buy the monthly magazines every month, yeah. This is going back like 15 years. But now most of the, if not all the content, catching up the goss and that is all online nowadays.
The goss. The 212.
The goss of what's going on in the wrestling world. Busy time. Apparently, there's big talks, and I can see it happening.
You're joining WWE?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just thought that's where we were going.
You know how at the moment it seems to be, and respect to the company, this isn't a diss, this is just me saying, you know how Disney seem to be buying up a lot of TV shows and that, they've just bought the rights to Dancing with the Stars, whereas they're only
I
going to
didn't
be
know
doing
that.
it, yeah. And they actually want to get into the wrestling entertainment business, and it looks like Disney may put in a bid for WWE. In the billions. Vince McMahon is already, he's the owner of WWE. He's already a billionaire in America. And if it was to go through, so just make him, I think it's the second or third biggest billionaire
thing
in America.
There you are.
It's saying it could have a very big possibility.
There's a lot of money in Lycra.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money. So yeah, kind of saying watch this space, but it does look as though it may actually happen. So from Disney characters to wrestling characters, eh? Who would have
Absolutely. All bases covered. I would really love to go, I'd really love to go back to Disney.
thought? Oh, so I would as well.
Yeah, it's been years. I think I was about 17 the last time I went.
Yeah.
But I'd really love to go back. It looks completely different now to when I went.
I'd
like to go to the LA one, I think.
I would like that, yeah. 'cause
Disneyland.
I've been lucky
World.
to be to Disney World or Disney World, Florida 3 times.
Oh, yeah, I've been a couple
Yeah,
of times.
but it was spaced in between. It was like about a good 10 years in between each time. So I would like to go again. The last time I was there, I was with the ex's family, so it wasn't. I did have fun, but it would be nice to go again. Nice to go again.
There's a lot of excitement that you're doing dragonflies, by the way, Craig.
Good, I'm glad. I knew that a lot of people would want to see it again, hopefully. So that's why I thought, no, I want to do it again.
Tricia says,
I
yeah,
want
your more
to do
dragonfly
it.
demonstration. I just received my bundle and I'm just in awe of the paper. I'm ordering more. Mary Rhino says, Craig and Joe would both make excellent audiobook narrators. I love that.
I like that too.
If you could, here's a question for you at home in the comments. If you could narrate any book into an audiobook, which one would it be? Ooh. Mine would be some sort of like, I don't know. Not with science, no. What was that last one? Oh, sorry, horror. Is what Erin said there.
Didn't hear horror there. Did not hear horror.
Didn't hear that either. I'll tell you what I heard later. Horror, science fiction, sci-fi. Mine would be some sort of. Mine would be like a glam fiction novel. I think that's what I would narrate. It would be like a Eurovision glam fiction novel. Good shout, George.
If there was any celebrity book I would like to narrate, it'd probably be Gordon Ramsay's.
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay's.
So much swearing though, Craig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to work with you first, Joe, so I could get really angry and riled up and then start reading it. Yeah. Could do that.
Sounds good.
Just to swear. So, now that we've touched upon those different subjects there, what I done there with the Nina is I stamped in with my Noir Black alcohol proof, and then when it comes to the vellum, I stamped the Lily Pad. I stamped it with
not a pickle.
Not a pickle.
No.
Not a pickle. Or
Remember,
a slice
you
of
are
lemon
not
or
a pickle.
dried fruit, dried orange slice. So if you like to make your themed cards, then, think about that being an orange slice. But all that I've done is I stamped that with the translucent clear, and I've went over with white embossing powder. So all that I'm going to do is we're going to melt the embossing powder, and then we'll do a little bit of colouring with our tri-blends. Coral blend and coral shades. That's it. Thank you, Erin.
Coral blend, coral shades.
Yes.
Excellent. Kathy Livesy says, I live about 1 hour away from Disney. It's so crowded lately. Oh gosh, how rude. We went in January. There was no one there. It's brilliant. Lord of the Rings is what Mary Rhino would narrate. Great choice, but that is a lot of time in the booth, Mary, is all I'm thinking. You know, that's weeks you're going to be in there doing that. George of the Joystick listened to the first one audio, but how long was it, George? 22 to 23 hours.
Wow.
My word. It's a long old book, that one there as well.
The film's not that long, is it?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. When I went to see the first film, Craig, when it came out, I didn't realise it was a trilogy. So
Oh,
it's
did
like
you not?
so long, and then it got to the end, and I was like, "Are you joking? What? Is that it?" I was like, "It's like saying you're going to go on holiday and just getting to the airport. That was it, and then coming home again." I was like, I gave up after that.
Yeah.
That was enough.
You've still got a whole lot more to go.
Is there anything we need to bear in mind if we are heat embossing on vellum, or do you just treat it just like paper, Craig?
No, really good question, Joe. Nope, nothing whatsoever. Treat it as though it is paper. You may want to be more inclined to use an anti-static bag, although I didn't. You know what I'm like by now. I always forget to pop down an anti-static bag. If anything, vellum and acetate are the two mediums where you'll get a lot of static. So it really is worthwhile going in with an anti-static bag, first of all. But other than that, no, you don't need to do anything specific. Just do your stamping and then your embossing as you would do normally.
Very, very busy on this. Lots of you going for it. Remember, you can get all the individual elements as well, if you so wish. Alison Lee, she would be doing a murder mystery.
A murder mystery.
A whodunit. Erin said she'd like to do a murder mystery, but it'd probably sound more like a comedy. I think you'd be good at a comedy, Erin. Or like a self-help audiobook. Yeah.
I could just be one of those that does whale noises.
What one?
Whale noises and rain
Do it
noises.
again?
Whale noises.
Can you give us a whale noise?
No. Have you never seen Free Willy? Yeah. It's crying.
Can you do it one more time for us? Oh gosh!
And then I could do the wind.
That sounds like a
That's what it sounds
cappuccino. That
like.
sounds like a coffee machine. That one. It's not relaxing. A coffee machine.
Well, I don't know what else I could do. I don't know what. It's relaxing on those.
The sleep stories, I must admit, you know, people say, oh, they're really relaxing. You get the apps, they talk to you. I'm way too invested in the story. I can't
I'm
get sleep.
invested in the story.
I'm like, I need to find out what happens at the end of this.
I know.
It's not making me go to sleep.
No, it's just, you know, yeah, they have those stories and they're talking, they're saying what they are, and I'm envisioning
I'm thinking about it all.
on the beach with the sand and the sea coming in with a
And
pina
then I'm thinking to
colada.
myself, do I
and
get
I'm
a
like,
beer or do I get a pina colada? I wonder what time that beach bar closes. And then I get, I'm
know.
off then. That's
I'm
it.
exactly the same.
Obviously not how it's meant to go.
Exactly the same. I'm glad it's not just me, Joe. So what I would do is I would finish colouring all of these ones and then shape them lightly with your finger or a pokey tool, and then I always like to use my tacky glue. And what I would do is start to offset them. So pop them in, pop them over the top, and you might want to do all four, you might just want to do three, you might just want to do two, that's up to you. But then what will happen is simply by colouring them in, you're then going to be left with yours that look like this. Now these ones I've only used, that one I've used 4, that one I've used 3, that one I've used 3, and that's how they're going to look. What you can then do as well is if you want to go up and then just start to pull up some of the petals, you absolutely can do. But if we bring this one back in, what I've done is I've taken one of the single one, so instead of layering it up, I've gone in with a single one. So I've got my 2. I've already done an additional heat emboss lily pad, and then from one of the die sets, what I've done is I've just die cut the teeny tiny little dragonfly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside first, Joe. Similar to our top layer here, what I've done is make today amazing. Take this one off, and this one would need to have on a foam pad, so that could be our stepper. And then what we can do is come in. I'm going to use my glue gel for all of these, just because I would class them as an embellishment. So I'm going to go in with this single one first. So I'm going to pop that where I want, which is going to be there, and then I can take this smaller one, and what I'm doing is I'm only popping a little bit towards the base, because then what I can do is it gives me time to tuck it in, manoeuvre it about, and then what I'm going to do is a tiny little bit onto the back of my Dragonfly. That can then pop these ones here.
Do you just sort of pop these down willy-nilly, Craig, or are you thinking about, is there sort of some grand plan?
No, just willy-nilly, as you say. Doesn't matter whether it is gems, whether it is pearls, whether it is butterflies. Something like this, what I would always do is still do them in threes. So clusters of 3, you'll see that again just in a moment. So I've got my 3 together. This is where your glue gel comes in really, really handy, because I can move it about. I can reposition it if I so wish. So that's my little cluster of dragonflies just down at the bottom there, all done. And then what I'm going to do is carefully pop that back over the top so don't squash it. We can come in with our other ones. So glue gel onto the one that's got the 4, pop one there, into one of them that's got the 3, pop that one there. And when I'm doing it with glue gel, at first what I'm doing is I'm laying on the die cuts. So get them on, then I'm going to have a play, move them about, position them into place. Then what we can do is we can take these 2, and I'm going to do this one that I've also already done. So this larger one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck a little bit underneath, and then going to really start to press that in.
Really nice to see it in this colourway, because I think it looks quite tropical, doesn't it, on the boards? But actually, you've not really changed the colour tones that much.
No.
And it shows you how different it looks, which is awesome. So you really are, especially with these sort of, I don't think all stamps and dies are like it, aren't they, Craig? But you can really theme them or change them to whatever you need them to be.
Absolutely, of course you can do. You can do. And, you know, if you imagine, if you bring in some of your real bright texture cardstock from your Centura Pearl or your texture cardstock, it could look completely different. But bringing them in, again, the other, I say rule of 3. Crafting, there's no rule as such, but you will tend to find, like gardening, we tend to position things in 3s. And then what we're going to do is, so the Dragonfly, so there's the one that I cut at the start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my tacky glue just round the body. So we can go in round the body. If you want to adhere the whole Dragonfly, you can do. But you know what I'm like when it comes to, you know, the dragonflies, or more specifically butterflies, I tend to only attach the body, and then that way we can pull the wings up. Remember, you've got that film, so if you wanted to do an overlay with the film, you can. And even although these dragonflies are quite substantial in size, I'm still going to use all 3 of them. So let's go in with our glue gel. So pop a little bit of the glue gel on one bit. So I'm going to position this one first. Then we can go into our next one. So we can then go into here. I'm going to pull that down ever so slightly. And then we can go in with the last one, and we can tuck that one underneath into play. And then there we go. We can still read our sentiment. Of course, you would then maybe make an 8x8 envelope, something like that, for it to go in. Now let's bring that in. Let's pop that more at an angle, but we can still see the sentiment. And then there we go. If I turn that around that way, we've got a real centerpiece. That could, of course, be on a, just straighten that, that could, of course, be on a square card blank if you want, that you've turned into an easel, but really nice. Because of the shape of the lilies, I just think it works really, really well, having it as a circle. So whether it's a circle die or whether it's going to be your cutting machines, you can start to create a really nice shape, not just squares, but a nice little circle card for you.
George has called it. He's saying that it's going to be the winning card of the day. Who knows? Stay around to the end of the show and you shall find out. $119.99 or $155.95. That is your price for this brand new collection, which is amazing. The latest in the Sarah Signature range. So make sure you are snapping that up. If you want to go for the one with the extra papers and cards, you can. This is going to give you, with the extra card, foiled card, and the 12-inch papers as well. So make sure you snap that up. That one, they're $153.99 or $199.95, which is brilliant value for money. Right, let me remind you of some other stuff. It is the season to Gemini. Gemini season is upon us, which is fantastic. And what that means is lots of great deals on our Gemini machines. Today, or this week I should say, we've got this for you. Now this is excellent. It's our original Gemini machine that you are looking at here. $179.99. That is what you'd expect to pay. Standard price over on the website. So you're thinking, well, Joe, why are you telling us about this deal? Because you are getting over £100 worth of additional products included, all stuff that are designed to work beautifully with your Gemini. So make sure you're snapping it up. It's £102 worth of goodies we're going to include there. $143.99 if you are a platinum member. Now, how about if you are across in the US and you're thinking, gosh, well, we'd like some juicy deals, please, Joe. Well, we've got you covered, don't you worry about that, because we've got a brilliant not so mysterious bag for you. I'll quickly take you through what you could be getting in your mystery bag. This one here, hello, full alphabet, yes please. You're also going to get tunnel cards in here, edgeables, double-sided, and some window dies as well. So literally it's a brilliant taster bag. If you are already aware of how awesome all of our Gemini dies are, then these are a brilliant way of getting yourself a bargain, essentially, because you're saving almost £73 or $86. Snap that one up. We've not left our soft crafters out though. Oh no. With these, we have got some builder block. I know. In a mystery bag. That is unbelievable. So you get a couple of different builder blocks in here, and we're also going to send you a couple of our different applique dies too. Remember, you can cut a whole host of things with these. We call them soft craft dies. They are multimedia dies. So think about mount board, chipboard. It won't do chipboard, will it? Where have I got that from? Mount board, balsa wood, craft metal, felt, cotton, leather, faux leather. All of those different things you can cut with those incredible multimedia dies. £30 or $40 if you want to get your hands on those ones. We're going to go next though to these. Very, very busy on these when you saw them in our earlier wake up call. You guys love it. To be fair, ever since we launched these, you guys have always really loved them. They are a brilliant set of dies. They're Intri'lace, which I'll ask Craig more about in a second. But the great thing about these is they are kind of like the best of, because they are somewhere between, I would say, a creator card and a creator card and an edgeable. So you're going to get 4 different designs in here. You're going to get this one first. So this is your village chapel that you can see just there. Then this is the one I love. You'll also get framed with love as well. You can as well, I'm thinking, is you can actually snip these fully out if you want to with a pair of scissors. It'd be very simple to do. And this one here is the beautiful bird cage. Now all of them together, best way to get the best value, $47.97 or $59.88. Or you get any 2 of these for £36 or $47, which is amazing. Lots and lots of love coming in for Craig's last demo. Mary Pat says, I think poetry would be fantastic to narrate. After attending Poetry Aloud contest to cheer my daughter on. It's amazing how poetry can be brought to life. It really is. Trisha's very excited about that last card. Kathy, Pammy, Mary Pat, all loving that card. Mary Rhino loves the shape. Trisha says, what a statement. And Laura Gray says, beautiful card, Craig. Loads and loads of love coming in. Very busy for lots of different things across on the website at the moment. Remember, if you do want to get in touch with me, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube. Where would you like to go next then, Craig or Bagel?
Right, Dale, let's have a look at the Framed with Love Interlaced die set. So, within this one here, what you've got, as you said, Joe, which is absolutely quite right, it's a create a card, but it's like an edgeable create a card. Because what we've got is all of the detail of the die. But this side here has got the outside cutting edge, but there's no cutting edge all the way around here. So then therefore, so if I was to turn it the right way around, that means everything from the right hand side is going to be waste and discarded, everything else is left into play. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our card blank. I've created my own one out of our A3 Centura pedal you'll find on the website, and I've created it so that's 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. The reason I made it 7 1/4 is because the height of the die is 7 1/4. So what I want to do is, where I've got the spine of the card, I'm going to pop my die right up against that edge. In actual fact, I'll maybe leave just a couple of millimetres. And then what we can do is we can go in with our low tack tape, and once I've got it into position, I can go along, tape it down, and then what that's going to do is all this side here, that'll be discarded, we don't need it, and then what we'll be left with is this beautiful die cut design. When it comes to these in our Intri'lace create a card dies, we'll be showing you later on, I would highly recommend always running them through again with your embossing mat afterwards, just so that you can get a lovely emboss. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then pop it onto my Gemini plate. Because of the size of this one, you will need your large Gemini. Layer them up. So these are Intri'lace, which they're slightly thicker, and in the detail that cuts, when you look at it, has sort of a lace effect in some of them. You're going to get that even more, that lace effect, that texturous effect, by running it through your embossing mat afterwards as well. Some of them are more detailed than other. But within this one here, if I remove it, what I'm going to do, the way that I always like to do my embossing is I leave all the plates all lined up together. So remove my base plate, any excess little bits, just wipe them away. I can then go back in with my embossing mat, go back in with my cutting plate, and then what we can do, Joe, is flip it over and then take out my magnetic shim. Because if you remember, you never, ever, ever have the embossing mat and the magnetic shim in at the same time. There is not a technique.
What happens if we do that, Craig?
Sorry?
What will happen if that happens?
So, two things can happen. One, your plates will go so far in the Gemini, will be like, no, too much pressure, too thick, can't do it, so it'll feed it back out. The other thing that could happen, and it's actually what happens, is because the Gemini is the best machine in the world, my opinion, and so many others, but because there's so much pressure, it will allow it. But what it's going to do, when I say it's going to rip your magnetic shim and your embossing mat to shreds,
okay,
it absolutely will do, because it's getting it through, it's accepting it, but it's stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching. And what will happen? 9 times out of 10, it'll be your embossing mat, the purple one. That's just going to be absolutely shredded. And it can also happen with your magnetic shim as well.
Okay,
so no technique. No technique where you have two of them together.
Nope.
So remove that one out the way. Take that one. And now what we're left with is the most beautiful, beautiful die-cut, elegant,
so classy
card.
in that coloured cardstock.
And having all that embossed detail there, Joe, it really is worthwhile running it through once again with the emboss. And what I'll do actually is we'll enhance it that little bit more. So let's take my die, let's take these bits out.
You broke your heart, Craig.
You've broken my heart,
Oh.
my achy breaky heart. Let's take out all this excess. There's some bits in here, like you've got some swirls here, Joe. So
oh, cool.
Keep them, and then
Squirrels.
tuck them in with your flower forming that you can absolutely start to use these for. So, you know, if you want to use your swirls for these, you absolutely can do. Maybe you want to tuck them behind your squirrels, you can do. Could be a squirrel tail if you want. You can do that. But what I'm doing is I'm popping that back in. It's like a little jigsaw in the fact of you go in, work it in, and then it just slots into place. It slots back in, And I'm going to go in with our orange pigment. So you will find that on Shop the Day and Shop the Show. And all the, here we go, I'm just needing the little finger daubers here.
Yeah, the orange was in that 10-piece pigment selection earlier as well, so you'll be able to do exactly this.
It was indeed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink through my dye.
This is clever, isn't it? Because I mean, they're almost stencils, really,
Exactly,
in this way. So brilliant. And they're like a 3-in-1. You can cut with them, emboss with them, and then ink through them too. Just brilliant.
Because as you said a moment ago, emboss with them. And I don't mean just die cut them, then emboss the detail after. I actually mean eliminate the step of die cutting, run them through, for instance, run them through your black cardstock, just the embossing mat. What you'll get is you'll get all of that detail that's embossed, not cut, and then what you can do is come along with your gilding waxes, pop that over the top, so you've now got that option as well. But going in and then adding using my finger daubers, because that gets into all of the little details a lot easier. But you can, if you wanted to, go in and use your large blending tools. That's up to yourself. And with it being a metal dye, non-porous surface, all that you're going to do is a little wet wipe, warm water, take off the excess ink, and that'll be your dye, good to go. No damage whatsoever. So going in, so I'm just putting some of the ink pretty much all over the place. Some of these bits are just leftover little die cut pieces that haven't popped out, but do you know what, it doesn't matter. It means then all the bits that I've embossed will be inked in orange. So if I remove that one, look at that. Isn't that fab?
Gorgeous, really lovely. Just not too much there, just a little hint of colour.
Just enough. It really, really is. Just enough, not much whatsoever. So what I've then done, and this is going to show this die collection in the simplest form. So I've taken a piece of pattern paper, which is actually from the Country Lane. I would have used the Dragonfly collection, but I didn't get my Dragonfly collection till this morning.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to use the Country Lane 6 and 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then what I've done is I've taken a piece of our rose gold shedless glitter card, and I've cut that to 7 by 7. Now, as much as I love my dry adhesive, my tape, if I pop that straight onto my shedless glitter card, there's a chance that over the weeks and months that could drop off.
We don't want that, do
so we don't want your layers to drop off, not at all, not whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra layer of adhesive. So just a little bit, but I'm just going to go over where I've popped my tape. Now what that's going to do is my dry tape, that's going to give me that instant stick onto my glitter card. But then that tacky glue, what that's going to do is that is going to then dry into the fibres of the pattern paper, dry into the grains of the shedless glitter card, and you know that that's not going to be budging ever. So I would always do that onto shedless glitter card if I'm using a dry adhesive. And in actual fact, you've seen me do it on so many occasions. But this layer, because that's going straight onto my back layer, I don't need any wet adhesive. That can go there. So I've pulled out the orange from this background. You could have used the honey pot if you wanted to. But then close that one over. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this edge another burnish with my scoring tool. And then I've taken a little sentiment. This is my sentiment stamp here, and it was from Subbox 45 that I've taken this one from. Pop my adhesive on the back, and as I'm going on to glitter card, let's pop a little bit of our wet glue. That can sit into the middle there, and then let's add a foam pad onto the back to finish off. So adding that one on. Layering it up. You can come along, actually in actual fact, I do have a few pearls that I can use to finish off. But if I take this one, that can go down into the corner. And then a couple of pearls still also from the sub box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and let's add a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. Take one of the larger ones. That can go there. take the other, let's come off. There we go, there.
Rose says, loving this technique with these colours, absolutely beautiful. And Mary Rhino as well says, love with the inky highlights, really sets it off.
It really is worthwhile doing. You're inking through a die that's got a lot of embossed detail, makes it stand out even more. And I tell you what, I've got 2 little petals left. So let's do one there on the heart, and then one here. And these were some orange ones that I had left over from the sub box. And then there we go, in the simplest form of using it to create that card on the edge there. So you could have quite simply ran that one through with the sentiment and a pattern paper at the back, but just taken it that little bit further. I know Creative Cravings is about keeping it simple, but that's a simple concept. All we've done is added a little bit of ink over the top.
Yeah, and I think the joy is with these, Craig, isn't it? There's so much design in the dies themselves. So even you are keeping it quite simple, you're going to come up with something that really impactful. Let me quickly take you back through the 4 different designs that you've got. $47.97 is your price for these. You have got the Village Chapel. This is the one I love. You'll also get Framed with Love. And we've also got the beautiful Bird Cage, which is this one just here. $47.97, $59.88. They're available individually, and they are on a 2-4 as well, so you can grab them like that if you so wish. But I must admit, far and away the best value is getting all 4 of them, so do grab them. $38.38, $47.90 if you are a platinum member. Right, next up, there is some acetate on the show for you. So it's the A5 heavyweight acetate. It's this one just here. You get 75 sheets in total, and $20.37 or $25.37 is your price. It's brilliant to use with these. You want to put an acetate back on the inside of the front panel of those cards. They're going to look absolutely blooming gorgeous, so do snap that one up. Right, we are going to go to the statement words, which are these ones just over here. Love these because they're an edgeable design, but I like the fact that they are differing sizes as well. Or what I should say is it's easy to create a multitude of different size cards with them. So let me take you through exactly what you're getting. You're getting 7 sets in here, so you're getting a lot of metal for your money. So you've got Love You, we've also got thanks, Craig. We've also got Happy Birthday, Thank You, which is this one just here. We then also have Special Day. This one is just for you. You've then got Best Wishes and also Hello You. I like that the font is quite decorative on these, yet they're still very legible, which is awesome. 31, 46, 40, 79. You are saving more than you're spending on these, and because they're edgeable, it means you can do all of those edgeable concepts with them as well, which is brilliant. It's 55%. So 55% of you are saving there. And if you want to get any 2 of these, you can get them for £18 or $23 for 2 of them, which is brilliant. Laurie says, Craig, I love all your cards. They are so beautiful, aren't they, Laurie?
Thank you.
They really, really are. Right, any questions you've got, get them in, you know the drill. But we're going to go back to Craig Laird. I don't know why I've decided I'm going to call you Craig Laird for all this show now.
Yeah, you're following Becky Redican's lead when
I am
it
indeed,
comes to calling me.
It's a good nickname.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know it's on my water bottle, don't you?
On your water bottle?
Yeah.
Is it? Craig Laird.
Yeah.
Ah.
Craig Bagel. So Nicola, when we first all got our water bottles, Nicola went around putting everyone's name on them, and because Rebecca, call her Becky, of course, Becky Redican, because she calls me Craig Bagel, Nicola had put Craig Bagel on it.
There we are.
So yeah.
Did she misspell bagel?
How do you spell bagel?
B-A-G-E-L.
Yeah, she's put L-E. I won't wind her up and tell her.
Is it bagel? Yeah, I'm gonna check.
It's been like that for months and months and months. But
Yeah.
here we go. What we've done is we've gone in with a piece of our cardstock. I believe, let me just double check, because I actually done this demo last week, so I can't remember. Oh no, we're fine. You can do this out of A4 size cardstock. What I've done is the full length of our A4 multi-purpose card, and I've cut it to 6 inches. Now what I've also done at the halfway point, what I have done, well, I'll say not quite halfway, because of course A4 isn't exact, but at 5 3/4 in, what I've done is I've done a little emboss line. But I'll tell you what I'll do, so you can see it at home, I'll do a pencil line. Because we don't actually want to have a full score within our card just yet. Otherwise, that score line is going to transfer all the way through our die cut piece. So what I've done, got my card, which will essentially be my card blank, and then we're going to go in with our actual die. So we're going to say thank you. Now what we've got is we've got thank and the butterfly, and that has an outside edge all the way around. Then what we've got is you, and what this die is placed in with the metal. There's no outside cutting edge, which means that's going to cut into your card. So what we're going to do at the edge of each die here, and when we turn it around, you're going to find that you know exactly where to position it, because there's two little notches. Where my finger is just here, and where my other finger is just here. Little notch in each bit. So all that we're going to do is we're going to line those notches up with our pencil mark. And we're going to go as close to as central as possible. And what we're going to do is pop that in, and then we're going to use our low-tack tape to secure it. I'm only adding a little bit of low-tack tape, because I don't want it to take the fibres off the top layer. However, this is going to be the back of my card, so I'm not overly concerned if it does. So press that in, and this is when you'll see it again once it's die cut. If I had a score line already in place, that score line is going to go right through my sentiment, which we don't want.
Okey-doke.
So therefore, we want it to be nice and clean, an actual emboss line at each bit to give you a guide, or a pencil line, because we can take our eraser and rub it out. And then we're going to layer this one up with our Gemini, feed that in. I'm just going to let it go all the way through, but of course with the Gemini you could pause it and reverse it if you wanted to. So let that go. As it comes out, we're going to do a little bit of a drop shadow in a moment. Let's take this out, and then we're going to bring in our scoreboard as well in a second. Carefully remove our tape. I'm going to take that one off just now. Let's take no more of the fibres off, and then take that one. So what we've got now is we've got our sentiment, and what we also are left with is the waist of the U. So you could do this again, Joe, and then start to paper piece them, or just use it wherever you want. Let's pop that last bit out. And we're then going to take my scoreboard, and let's just see, usually we do have an eraser kicking about. Maybe not today. So I'll use the one that I've already pre-done in a moment. So what we're going to do now is at the left-hand side and the right-hand side, we're going to enhance that little score line just up to the die cut and just up to the die cut. So what I'm going to do, this is when the black line within our scoreboard comes in handy. So score, and then score. Now what that's then going to do, if we carefully bend that back, but make sure our sentiment stays on top, what we're left with is thank and you underneath, that we can see that. In actual fact, I'm just going to keep using this one, Joe. And then what we can do is, if we take this bit of glitter card, so I've cut it to a panel of 6 by 2.5. Doesn't need to be anything specific. All that I want is to cover up the U. So I've got that glitter then coming through, shining through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then take this one here. We're going to then take our little die once again. I've taken a piece of this green. So this green and this pattern is from the Spring Fever. So I know that we've got them on the show, or they were on Masterclass anyway. Check out Shop the Day, you're going to find them there. Incidentally as well, if you are relatively new to crafting, hence why you're watching Creative Cravings, or Score Master, anything like that tool-wise, check out our website. They are available. Just go and type in Scoreboard or Score Master. A selection of our scoreboards are going to pop up.
Marvellous. Great time, isn't it, Craig? Cravings? Get any questions that you like.
Absolutely.
Anything you're struggling with in your craft room, you can let us know. We've had one of those questions in, actually. Mary Rhino has said, weird question, is what she says.
Go for it.
If you want to essentially mask out part of a die, what would you use or how would you do this when cutting? I have this idea, but cutting the excess part off once it's been die cut won't work for this. I had an idea, but it might not work.
So masking off a stamp is really easy.
Yeah.
You just pop over a bit of masking tape or something like that over the part of the stamp you don't want to ink. A die.
Could you have it partly in and partly out of the plate?
Yeah.
Would that be a way of doing it? But I guess it would then really very much depend where it was on your design if you could have it off the end of the plate.
What you're going to, if you're using the Gemini, so yeah, if you have it part on and part off, with the Gemini you're going to have to rely on that pause and reverse function, because if there's only part of it you're wanting to cut, you're not wanting it to go all the way through. So you're going to have to rely on that. Just try to think though, because it's all to do with pressure. So if you were to bulk part of the die out to stop it from cutting, so it's going to be too thick to cut, the Gemini's potentially going to get to that point and be like, no, too thick, and it's going to spit it back out again. I think it's going to be best of both worlds. I think it's going to be about positioning them on the plate in a certain position, and the pause and reverse function. Try and envision a die in my head that you'd only want part of it.
You're going to sit with that one, Craig?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Any other questions you've got, though, get them in. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. We like it. It's like the sort of QI of crafting questions, that one, isn't it?
It is, it is. Because there's ways to do it. I know there's ways to do it with a manual machine, and that is, as you said, that's about offsetting the plates. Electronic machine, yeah, that's one I'm going to have a think about. But yeah,
He's stumped.
Stumped.
He doesn't like not having the answer either.
It's not that I don't like having it. It's
not having it.
Nice to get a question that actually, do you know what?
Makes you
I'm going to
think,
have to challenge that. Yeah, see if there's a way about it. So yeah. Or, as we find out quite a lot, you guys at home are so good as well in the comments. You can sometimes think of an idea or a solution that we don't always necessarily straight away think of. So this is where Crafters TV and all you guys at home watching, it's really, really lovely to see you all joining in. But for me, I'm going to have to go back to the thinking board. But for you guys at home, you might be able to help out. But what I've done there, while I was trying to have a think, I've gone in with that green card, cut out the die, but I've just fussy cut the word thank. That's all that I want. And then I'm going to come back in with my base layer here, and then onto the back, what I'm going to do is I'm just wanting to see how much I need to cut, so we're all good. I don't need to cut anything. I'm going to go in, Joe, with my tacky glue, and on the back of thank, I'm going to go in, and then if we add our tacky glue, work our way round, finishing it off as if we're sketching over the back. And then what I can do is let's turn it back around on itself. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a drop shadow. I'm doing it onto the pink just to make it a bit easier for you to see. So place on, at least grab it, turn it, position it, work that in. With the tacky glue, you've got a little bit of manoeuvrability. If I take this, move it up, and we're going to have that hint of green popping out the top corner of the word thank. So once we're in, we can press that one in. And then what I'm going to do is if I turn it over, the reason I've done a full strip is for me, it would look a bit odd if I just had a little bit of a little rectangle. So I'm just as well going in add in a full strip. Of course, you can come along, mat and layer it with a bit of pattern paper if you want to finish it off. But what we can do is I'm going to use my tacky glue once again so that I can go into all of the little bits. Plus, with it being shedless glitter, it means it's going to dry into the grains of the glitter card. Just need to see how far down I need to come. A little bit more. Work my way along. Add that on. And then I'm going to pop that close up to the fold of the card. Not right up, because I don't want to stop it from opening. But then if I fold it back on itself, so we've got our drop shadow with the thank, we've got the baby pink glitter card, which was and is in that glitter card bundle, I believe. So press that in, then what we can do is take our mats and layers, again, baby pink glitter card and the pattern paper from the Spring Fever, and then we're just going to finish it off by doing some layering.
Amazing. Any questions you've got, keep getting them into me. It's very busy, of course, on the website at the moment. Mary Rhino says, who asked the question, of course, oh, good ideas, Craig and Joe. I still have a manual as a pressure control dial on it. I've been racking my brain about how to make what I have in my mind's eye. There you go. Sounds like she may have hit something there, Craig. Not physically hit it or run into it, but hit on something, let's say.
Yeah. If anything, what I would say is give it a try with your manual one, because you've got a little bit of flexibility.
Brilliant.
For the Gemini, yeah, I'm going to have a think.
Full holidays saying good afternoon from sunny Florida. Oh, lovely. I bet it's nice and warm in Florida at the moment.
Oh, I bet it is.
It is gorgeous. And Christine Mahoney. Sorry, Craig?
No, I'm just saying a little trip to Disneyland.
Yeah, perfect. Someone did message earlier and said they were about an hour from Disney. I don't know if I read the comment out or I didn't see it. Christine Mahoney says, hello, lunch break. Hello, Christine. We're having for your lunch. This has become a regular daily feature now where Christine Mahoney joins us on her lunch break. She lets us know she's on her lunch break. Then I ask her what she has for her lunch and she lets us know. And then we let her know what we thought about it. Quite like it. Christine's lunch. She had salad last time. Yeah, Christine's salad. That's what this section of the show... Christine's salad. Christine's lunch is what this section of the show should be called now. Sandy says, hi all, just see my HSN order. The tag punch is so sturdy, feels like it would handle any weight of paper. So excited to have it in my hands to play with. Fabulous, Sandy.
And then there we go. So using that top fold, that thank yous from the statement word die, gone in with that drop shadow at the top, we've gone in with the glitter card underneath, that layering butterfly from Karen Thoughts, quick, simple mat and layers on the front, that's all that you need. Maybe do a little sentiment inside, that's up to you. Me, what I would do, if you don't want to see this bit here, mat and layer another piece of multi-purpose card on with maybe another bit of baby pink glitter just to cover it up. But there we go. What I would say, and this is only my advice to you, you can take it or leave it, something like that. Don't go overly detailed with the extra embellishments because you don't want to take away from what is going to be the focal of the eye, and that is the thank you. So keeping it really simple, little embellishment is more than enough to finish off your card.
Absolutely it is. Let me take you back through then the options that you have got in here. So you've got Love You, which is that one just there.
Would you stop saying that to me?
I just can't, Craig, I really can't. You've also got Happy Birthday here too. This one is Thank You. Then you've got Special Day. This is Just For You. Best Wishes. And also Hello You. So really comprehensive set of sentiments. They're going to cover loads of different bases for you. You get all 7 of them for under £35. So £31.46 or £40.79, which makes them great value for money. You are saving more than you're spending here as well, which is brilliant. So you're saving £38.47, £49.86, which is brilliant. And you can see all of you are able to avail of your Club Inspired discount. Platinum members, £25.17, £32.63. Right, we've got some acetate for you on the show as well. Let's just share that with you. Oh, Ultra Smooth, actually, we're going to share with you. It's the Ultra Smooth white 6x12 cardstock. You get 2 packs here. That's 50 sheets in total. This is brilliant for loads of different things. Score that in half, you've got a 6x6 card blank, which is amazing. Right, I want to share with you these. You saw, beef hot dogs Christine's having.
Oh, lovely.
We've also... Beef hot dogs, yeah, amazing. Christine Mahoney says, yeah, all beef hot dogs. No rolls, though. I think she's doing no carb, Craig. But it's delicious all the same. Christine says, I love the card, Craig. It was a beautiful, beautiful card. It's going to be hard to pick a card of the day today. Let's have a little look at these delicate creator card dies. These have always been so popular since we launched them. Creative card means that you can really create a card in one pass. You can see you've got that removable outside edge there. You can either cut this in or you can cut this out, which is brilliant. But can we just take a moment to appreciate the price? How unbelievable is that? Should be £68 almost in the UK, or $80. You are saving $44.18, $51.87, and then you are of course being able to use your Club Inspired discount. This one here is your statement rose. Then you've also got your Schmetterling. Look at how big that is. I absolutely love how much dimension you can create here with these as well. You can see just there, really, really beautiful. So you've got that one. You've also got this one here, which is a place to remember. Love that tree. You can definitely take this off in lots of different styles. And you've also got the fairy garden in here too. I am thinking sparklings on there are going to look absolutely blooming sensational. 1902 or 2234 if you are a platinum member. Right, Craig, where would you like to take us next?
Right, so we're going to have a look at the creator card dies. We're going to have a look at the fairy garden. We're going to use this die. We're not going to use the outside edge. We're going to cut into our cardstock because we're going to create a little box. We're going to back it with a little bit of acetate, no we're not, vellum, which is from the Hummingbird collection. Once again, I would have used an actual fact, you know what? Seeing as we've got the collection here, I didn't have it at the time when I was prepping, so let's take some of the vellum from the Dragonfly, and we're going to pop that at the back instead. So we're going to add that. And then what we're also going to do as well, Joe, is we're going to add some of the King Gold Gilding wax from our Gilding wax. So let's take I've already done my base, and I've cut my Centura Pearl with a hint of silver to 7 inches by 9 inches, so 7 by 9, and I have scored at 1 inch on the box base side. So I'm going to take my next piece of card, still Centura Pearl, and we're going to score at the box lid side, also at the 1 inch. So we've got lots and lots and lots of shows on our YouTube channel where you can go back and see all about box making in our scoreboards, whether it is, of course, Score Master, our large scoreboard, Ultimate Pro, anything like that. You can go back and watch for lots of ideas and inspiration. But I do tend to use mine mostly for box making. So scored at 1 inch all the way round. So what we can then do is go in, just give them a really nice burnish. And this is going to be the platform for our creator card die. So we're going to go in with this one. So if I open that one out, what we can do is we can go in with the die. And if I were to use the outline die, this is going to give me a separate element. But of course,
Is that about to land on the roof, that plane? I don't think you can hear that. It's
I
very
think
low.
So. It's very, very loud. Very loud. Seems to be passing now. But let's tape this into place. And then this is going to cut into the lid of our Centura Pearl. I wonder where they were going. I wonder if they're flying off. So it sounded like a jet though, didn't it? So let's pop this one onto our plates. Same plate configuration, feed that one through. So the vellum that I had from the Hummingbird, I had it already cut to 4 3/4 by 7. So I'm going to do the same again, but with the Dragonfly. So let's take this one out, move that to the side. If I pop this one out, what we've then got is the most beautiful, delicate, intricate die with the fairy. So we can see we've got a little bit of dark card. Let's get some black so you can see it even better. So if I pop that from behind, I mean, look at that, Joe.
Beautiful. Isn't it?
Beautiful.
So much detail. I'm always shocked that they sort of hold their shape, these. Well, you know, if you're cutting them into cards or card blanks or something like that, Craig, they will support themselves, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, they will. Please don't ever think it's all to do with the cardstock. Yes, it is. That is a huge, huge part of it. But don't take away the fact that all of these die cut, all of these bits, when it's been designed on a computer, all of these bits are holding the image together. These all been placed in specific areas. So, for instance, the hand of the fairy is propping up the little flower head, which is propping up the stems and the backgrounds, which is then starting to build and crop up that whole image together. So yet the strength of your cardstock is important, but so is the positioning of the images and all of the little elements as well. So what I can then do is let's go in, let's take another piece of the vellum, but this time from the Dancing Dragonflies. And then I want to still have an image. So let's go in. I'm going to go this one. Yeah, I'm going to go. I didn't want anything too purpley because I want these tones to work really well with the gold that I'm going to use. So let's do 4 3/4. I want these dragonflies popping through. So let's go 6 3/4. So that should, on the back, fit perfectly, which it does. And what I'm going to use, because it's my personal preference, although I would usually take a lot more time at home, so I'm going to go in with my tacky glue, and what I'm going to do on some of these elements, Joe, I'm going to sketch with my tacky glue just to get it into position.
Brilliant. Christine Mahoney says, I wish that was me flying to the nearest airport to come and visit you all. That'd be nice.
You come and visit this side, and then I'll fly and visit the other side. That'd be good.
Yeah, or we could just do a tour, couldn't we?
House swap.
Just do a tour of the whole of the US in a Winnebago. We were talking about this when Jamie Rogers was here the other day. I think it'd be great.
I would love that. That is my mission in life, to do that at some point.
Susie's letting me know it's 88 Fahrenheit today in New Orleans, 31 degrees C, Craig. Hot and very, very humid. We've started summer, it seems. How blooming exciting.
I'd love a party at New Orleans, do you know that?
Sorry?
I'd love a party in New Orleans.
Oh, yes. It would be sensational. Mary Ryder says the fairy dye is just so lovely. It really is. They are, of course, available on their own as well, should you wish to get them like that. The value's so good, though. One is $16.99. So, I mean, £17 for an extra, for an extra £7, you can get the other 3. So I would not recommend buying them on their own. No. Definitely grab that collection because you've got that massive saving there.
Huge saving, isn't it? Absolutely huge. We go, popping that down with my low tack tape, my tacky glue. Any little bits that are still just floating about, just tape them down with your glue. And there we go. So we've got our backing with our vellum that we can see from up above. So then what I'm going to do, sugar lumps. You know what I should have done first?
Sugar lumps? It's been a long time since I've heard that.
Yeah?
Oh, sugar lumps.
Yeah, well, the boss is in, so I better not say the other word. There we go. So don't want to do a Gordon Ramsay live on air. So what I should have done, before I popped it onto my vellum, I should have gone in with my Gilding wax. Let's just go for it, do what we can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the little, the blue bottles, are they? Little blue bottles.
Blue bells?
Or blue bells, that's it, isn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my finger.
Just give them a little tickle.
Tickle. I would go a little bit more heavier handed if I hadn't have popped my vellum on the back. But let's go in, taking these ones here. So going in, and I'm just going to go around a little dress here.
There on the bottom of your screen, those Gilding waxes, Craig. You get 5 of them, under £50.
That's
good.
Really
less than £10 per pot, which is awesome. We don't always have all 5 in, do we?
No, we don't, do we? No, we don't.
$67.96 if you are across the pond.
and these will last you so long. I've still got my original pots from even before I started working at Crafter's Companion, and I'm nowhere near the end. I'm nowhere near the half the tub, never mind near the end. They do last you so long.
Susie says she's got a guest house in New Orleans. We could do a craft house from there.
Let's do it.
Sounds really good to me.
Let's do it. Years ago, the wrestling used to do a monthly pay-per-view event called In Your House. It was
Reset again.
Years ago, the wrestling used to do a monthly pay-per-view called In Your House.
Right.
Be like, in your house, best friends, better enemies, in your house, beware a dog, in your house, all these little quirky titles. So we could do like crafting in your house, go to New Orleans.
Nice.
And then do in your house, crafting in your house.
Crafting up your Straza.
Or that one.
There you go.
There you go.
How's that go?
That's a fancy
We'd come
one.
to your actual street. We'd be up your Straza. Be amazing.
Could you imagine that?
Be great, wouldn't it?
That'd be a good title, wouldn't it?
That's great.
That's a great
Let's
title.
work on that.
Catchy title.
Can we trademark that or something? Can we get some...
Trademark it,
Do you know
yeah.
any patent lawyers or anything, Craig? We get someone on it.
You need to trademark it. Trademark it as a Joeism.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd forgot my surname for a second. You're like, Joe, what's he called again?
Joe Remblance.
That's the one.
I'll never forget your name, Ben.
Cheryl has dropped in. She says, we've got lots of suggestions or requests for visits, Craig.
Have we?
Yeah. Christine says, when I come to you, I have to plan a whole trip. London, Paris, Germany, Italy, Scotland as well.
Scotland.
Amazing. Alison says, Craig and Joe, come visit me in New York City. We wouldn't need much
I'd be
excuse.
there.
Yeah.
You don't need to ask me twice.
Cheryl says, I can't wait to get my gilding flakes. They would be really pretty with this dye. They would actually.
They would, yeah.
But one of those lovely gilded flake backgrounds would look great behind this, Craig. You know, you just gild the whole thing with the adhesive sheets. Would be great as a light-up box for my patio, said Ro. And Sam says, I remember in your house, Sam McDonald says.
There you go.
Gilmore just says, Joe swirls and twirls. I don't know, I'm not sure what Gilmore means.
Swirls and twirls.
Joe swirls and twirls.
Dance move?
I don't know.
Get your dancing in. I don't know where. No. I can't even think what you said.
It's not about getting you to say swirls and twirls, is it?
No. Well, said swirls earlier on, but not twirls, did I? I don't think so, anyway.
Not sure.
One of the many things you guys get me to say here.
Oh, that would be the name of the show. Sorry, swirls and twirls.
Okay.
Get that. That's good. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, that would be a good one, actually. Joe's swirls and twirls. That would be a good one. What I'm doing now is I'm taking, as we can see, my red liner tape. You might want to use your tacky glue when you are doing construction, but your red liner tape works a treat. And as you'll have seen over the last week or so anyway, your red liner tape isn't just for construction. Use it for your Gilding flakes. And just as an FYI, I think if I get my way again, we've got Boss Erin in tomorrow. I think we might get to have a play with the Gilding flakes on Wake Up Call tomorrow. So
nice.
Apparently Erin's saying yes.
Erin is saying yes, indeedy. Any news on the crafty cruise? No. I mean, we're not really. I mean, it's like you asked me for news as if I'm actively working on making it a thing.
You're not really, are you?
Yeah, the crafty cruise. Something we used to talk about a lot, wasn't it, back in the day, Craig?
Back in the
Remember
day.
when we were in the shed in the car park?
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea that we would all go on a cruise together and craft with each other. It had some traction for a while, Craig, didn't it?
It did.
And then obviously the world happened, and now it hasn't really been spoken about. But it was mentioned last week. But yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath, Sam. Maybe one day, you never know.
No. We could all go to New York, and we could go to Central Park, and we could do crafting in the park. We could do that.
Say it again, sorry, Craig.
We could all go to New York, and then we could all do crafting in Central Park, and it could be crafting in the park.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Instead of like the Scottish concert, tea in the park.
Tea in the park, crafting in the park.
Crafting in the park.
Perfect.
I wouldn't necessarily do it
I
in.
don't think tea in the park happens anymore, does it?
Doesn't, no.
It was good. I've been a couple of times.
Does it?
Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
never my thing. But yeah, I don't think crafting in Darlington Park is going to be exactly the same.
I don't know. I went training in the park the other day. It was quite nice,
Was
actually.
it?
The sun was out, yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
It was nice. You never know. Today, Darlington, tomorrow, New York.
exactly. Stick with New York.
So only
Oh,
to do with
been there,
Home Alone
George,
2 that
done
you
that,
want to
got
go
the
to Central
t-shirt.
Park.
Yeah, I've been. That was one of the first things I done when I went to Central Park in New York, was go to the little locations where Home Alone 2 was filmed. Pigeon Lady. Yeah. Got my photo taken on the bridge. Yeah.
Gilmore says maybe we would all get onto a ginormous double-decker craft bus. I think it sounds great. That's beautiful.
There we go. So, gone in off the top of my head, actually, what did I say it was? It was, the cardstock was 7 by 9, and then I scored it an inch all the way around. 1 on box lid, 1 on box base. Cut into my card. I would recommend put your Gilding wax on first, then back it with either your vellum or it could be acetate if you want. Just added a couple of strips of the pattern paper, but a little gift box there. So by using the Create a Card die, without the outside cutting edge, it means you can cut into your cardstock, cut into boxes if you want to. So there is that one. You could do it with any 3 of them, but that one's done with the fairy.
Marvellous. Right, let's move on. Let's recap even. Let's take you through this. You get the statement rows included in here. Maybe you can cut this in or you can cut it out. So into a card concept, or you can cut it out as a topper. Lots of gorgeous embossing on there and the ability to ink through that too. Next up, you are going to get the graceful butterfly, which is this. I turned it the right way round for a change. Look at that. Absolutely. Beautiful, really, really lots of dimension in there. You've then got a place to remember, which is this one here. And finally, you will get the fairy garden, which is what you've just seen Craig using, which is excellent. They should be $16.99 each. However, today all 4 $23.78 or $27.93 is your price on that. $19.02 or $22.34. Make sure you snap those up. Something else I want to tell you about is those gilding waxes that you've got here. So you've got the 5 different ones in here. You've got Empire Gold, Antique Gold, Renaissance Gold, King Gold and the Silver, which is awesome. You're getting one of those free of charge, which is brilliant. Let's have a little look now at the glitter card, which is this one just here. So 100 sheets. Isn't that great? 30 pence per sheet is what you are looking at. 24 pence a sheet if you're a platinum member, or 33 cents a sheet as a platinum member in the US. Lots of different colours here. They are made and to colour match beautifully with the Century Pearl that we offer you. So if you ever wanted the same cardstock in 2 different textures, this is a great way of achieving that. So baby blue, that one there is the black. We also have the copper, the ivory, the lilac, pale silver, rose gold. This one is the gold, I believe, and then you've got your Christmas green and also your Christmas red. Absolutely gorgeous. Make sure you are snapping those up. Really nice weight there as well. 250 GSM. Feels a little bit heavy because you've got that coating, of course, on there as well. But 250 being a great all-around weight. Lots and lots of different things you can do with that. People are saying we need a crafty cruise down the River Thames or the Rhine. Oh, I'm thinking ocean-going liner, Craig. I'm thinking one of those ones, you know, where you can, abseil off the back of it. You can, I don't know, it's got a park in the middle of the top deck, all these other things. Yeah. I don't think river cruiser. Don't see myself on a river cruiser, or any of you lot for that matter. There you go. Right, next up then we're going to have a little look at these. You saw them earlier in our wake-up call and you adored them. It is our background rotation stamp. 8-piece collection. So what you've got in here is the one stamp. You're going to stamp it out the 4 different times, rotating it as you go, and it builds up to this really lovely, full, lush stamped image, which you've got just there. You also have a sentiment in the middle of there too. You can mix and match those sentiments across the different stamps should you wish. This one's your Butterfly Wishes. And then you've also got your Meadow Wreath. Then you have your Butterfly Roses. And last but by no means least, this one here is your rustic botanicals. You are paying for one. You're getting four for what you should be paying just for one, which is really, really cool. They're always busy. Make sure you're snapping them up whilst they're on such a wonderful deal. Sam McDonald said, haha, Darlington Park. Suppose South Park we could go to. We could all craft along near the bandstand. That sounds all right.
Okay.
What a bargain for those last 4 dies, says Sam. Crafty Becky says, absolutely love vellum. And Mary Ryan saying, ooh, great price on the glitter card. It really is. Jane Wilson says, a crafty cruise. I could go for that. Around the Med? Yes, please. Oh, that'd be nice, yeah. Crafting around the Med. What would you like to take us through next, Craig?
Right, let's have a look at the rotating stamps. I'm just going to get some of the foam on a roll, because we'll need that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use the rotating stamps. We're going to cut an aperture within the middle of one of them, and we're going to turn it into a shaker card as well. So what we can then do is let's go in to our large stamping platform. You'll find that on Shop the Day, Shop the Show, and this is absolutely going to be your best friend when it comes to the rotating stamps. So what you're going to need is your stamping platform as well as the base. And I always like to cut my cardstock bigger to the size than I actually need. It makes it easier to pop the discs on. It makes it easier to then start to rotate all the way round. So 2 key things to enable these to work really, really smoothly. And it's a question we get asked quite a lot in the past of having issues with getting them to not rotate, of course, but having issues for them to line up as you're rotating. So when it comes to your cardstock, what to do is make sure it's an actual square to start with. And then what you're going to do is make sure it's central right in the middle of your stamping platform. Now, of course, you can't see the cross underneath, so use the grids. So for this one, it happens to be 7x7 multi-purpose card. So I know that it's bang center in the middle because I've got 2 blocks at the top, 2 blocks at the right, 2 blocks at the bottom, and 2 blocks at the left. So that enables, that lets me know that it's bang center into the middle. So that's that sorted. What we're then going to do is we're going to come in with our stamping platform, and let's just take a little bit of that ink off. Let me pop a bit of card underneath so you can see this next bit better. We're going to do exactly the same, but with the stamping platform and also our stamp. So we're going to go in with this one here. Can't remember the name of this. I've only got the stamp, not the actual packaging. And it's the one that's got Happy Birthday to You inside. So what I'm going to do with this one is if I take my stamp off, it happens to be, just to let you know if I write on my cheat sheet, Meadow Wreath rotating stamp I'm using. So with this one, what you've got is you've got your 3 corners that are at a little curve, and you've got 1 corner that is at an absolute right angle. I can just see it against the back of my hand there. So we're going to do the same as our stamping platform. We're going to go in, and I want to get this as central as I can. Makes it a little bit easier because you can see the cross within the middle here. But all that I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly guess to start with. But what I'm doing is I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 blocks all the way around, plus I can see visually that I'm right in the middle there. So my cardstock's right bang center in the middle of the base, and then my stamp is right in the middle of my platform. That's the 2 key components that you need to make sure is accurate for it to stamp out really, really smoothly in the rotation of the 90-degree. So what I'm going to do now is if we go back to Masterclass, I'm going to be using our quick dries. So you'll find them on Shop the Show or Shop the Day. We've got orange, we've got fuchsia, we've got parakeet, and we've got pine tree here. I like to stamp from light to dark because we are going to start to build up our images or our colours on our images. And what you don't need to worry about cross-contamination of colours. As long as you're going to go for light to dark, you're going to be absolutely fine. So what we can then do is let's start off with the orange. So we're going to stamp, we're going to layer up all of that colour. So we're going to give it a really good stamping coverage. And the other thing that I like to do, just as a visual, I always like to start with my logo at the bottom right-hand corner. So then the next colour would turn 90 degrees, so we're at the left. The next colour will turn 90 degrees, so the logo's at the top. Next colour, top right-hand corner. And then that means to me visually, I know that I've done all 4 rotations. So we can go in, logo bottom right-hand corner, and then I'm going to press. So nothing different to what you would do normally. And the actual concept of this, you're not doing anything different other than rotating 90 degrees at a time.
Susan Griffith says this stamp set is amazing and it's easy to use. What a bargain. It is a bargain, Susan. You are correct, because $12.99 is what you'll be paying for one. If you come back to us on a regular day and have a look at them on the website. However, if you buy them today, what you're going to get is 4 of them for £12. So don't come back in a few days' time and get them when they're $12.99 each. Make sure you're grabbing them now whilst they are at that incredible price.
This is good if you are thinking of gifts, whether it is, I know the C word, Christmas, stocking fillers. You know, you can then be popping them into little friend stocking fillers if you want to, Secret Santas, that sort of stuff, or just for birthday gifts. You can be doing that. But what I'm then going to do, so that I'm not cleaning it every single time, I just tend to take a piece of scrap card or something and just take off that excess ink. So I tend to do that within my cardstock, and I'll also go over with a little bit of kitchen roll or something to take away that excess ink, not only on the top of the images, but also at the back, because I don't want a lot of that colour to transfer through onto my next colour, which is going to be fuchsia. So we'll do the same. Quick dry will stain your stamp, so don't worry about that. As long as you've given it a good clean and taken off the excess colour, don't worry about it, but in future it will stain the stamp, so it's just to let you know. And because we've already stamped at the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, so my logo's at bottom left, and we can repeat that process, stamping it up. I like to go over my stamps twice with colour, sometimes 3 times, really making it strong. And I only do that because I've seen Leanne doing it a while ago and I just think it's worthwhile doing. So we can go back in again. And then all that we're doing with the other 2 remaining colours, Joe, is repeating that process, inking it up with colour, rotating it 90 degrees, then rotating again with the last colour.
Brilliant. There's foam on a roll being sung in the comments, Craig.
Is it?
I told you last week, foam on a roll is done.
Well, I've not sang it for months.
Yeah, rest in prettiness, foam on a roll.
Yeah.
There you are.
For me, it's long gone.
Was I going to sing another version, George? I'm not sure.
Were you?
Can't remember. I think I did some other versions, didn't I, foam on a roll last week? I think we did foam on a roll in the style of Barbra Streisand last week.
Did you?
We also did it in the style of Liza Minnelli at some point.
Did you?
But that was last week. This is a new week, and we'll have to find some new gags for this week, won't we?
Yeah,
some
for
new
me,
material for
foam
this week.
on a roll, that's long gone. Long
Finished.
gone. Do you know something? Can't be bothered with it now.
Ah,
yeah.
Shots fired.
Ben already knows. Yeah, Ben already knows. Even when he's on, I won't sing it. I might hum it just to make
Who?
him. Ben.
Ben doesn't sing it anymore.
No, Ben knows I don't like it anymore. Oh. If I am on with him, he'll start singing it and I'll just maybe hum away, just if I want to make him happy. I'll sing away.
Awesome.
So let's stamp this one up. But you could, suppose, think of another song if you want. But we won't. So there is the first one, Parakeet. So bringing up our colour again, making it really, really strong. And we can start to see how it's starting to come together. It's all coming together. So let's do our last one here. So let's press, and then let's take our, ran out of kitchen roll, so let's just use what I've got left. And then we're going to come in now with the last colour, which is going to be the pine tree. So taking up the pine tree. And I know in the past, I say that I don't tend to wash my stamps. For something like this, I absolutely do. There's just way too much ink for me to leave on there. Need to wash them to get some of that excess ink off. But taking this one off, pressing it into play, removing, and look at that. We've got kind of like a firework display with these colours going in.
Really, really lovely colour combo.
Add my last layer with the green. So let's press that one. Press it in, press it in, press it in. And now remove that, and we have got our floral display. How fab is that? So that's that one. So what we can then do is then we can trim it down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then what I would do is use my inner scallop die. We can see here. What I'd done was I used the blue. So I substituted the parakeet and I used the blue within this one here. So that was the only colour change that I've done. So set that one to the side. And then what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm going to go over the back here. I'm going to use my strong red liner tape. All of these extra items that I use that we don't necessarily talk about on the show, you'll find on the website. And this is just our red liner tape.
How did you remove the middle there, Craig? How did you take the middle from that?
The inner scallop die.
Scallop die?
Yeah. Yep. So taking these ones off the back here. So if I take that, let's just get a hold of it.
It embosses them quite nicely as well, that die, doesn't it?
The embossed, yeah, well,
yeah, the die is, you've got a nice sort of...
Yeah.
Is that the stitched one?
So that's the, well, what it is because it's the inner, you've got the inner scallop, the inner zigzag, that die range. But what that one does is because I used that inner die, it's the inside that die cuts with the scallop, but it gives you a stitched edge to it as well. So you'll find, I think, we do have a selection of them still on the website, and many of you have got your hands on them already. But here we go. So sandwiching our piece of acetate on, this is our construction that we've got on the show. We've got a big pack of that, or at least it was on masterclass anyway. And then we can take our foam on a roll. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to block off a little piece, a little square here. And then what I'm going to do to balance it out, if I was to only pop my foam on a roll in this centre bit.
George, I've never heard George so sad. He went, feels quite sad not singing the song now, doesn't it?
That's exactly how he sounded like.
It just doesn't feel right anymore.
George, you sing away, my man, if you want.
You go for it, George.
You sing.
It's really going for it in there.
Hey, he was going for it.
Really going for it in
there.
Oh, there you are. Kelly says, I turn the volume down when they start singing Foam on a Roll. Don't blame me. I'll be doing that with George from now on, don't you worry, Kelly.
I like that. Oh dear. Yeah, I'd probably do the same. Oh, there's a Foam on a Roll song. Mute. But yeah, what was just a way to say there, as you can see what I'm doing now. If I had only popped my foam on a roll in the centre, this is going to leave all this overhang, so you want to balance it out. So I put my foam on a roll all around the edges. Not essential if this joins, because that's not going to hold in the sequence. It's our centre bit that we want to make sure that we've got no gaps. So we can take the backing off. This is from our new and improved foam on a roll. So we've got that backing that releases even easier, which is just
He's obviously not, he's not dedicated to the cause, Craig, because there was no foam on a roll coming from the gallery at that time.
Say that again?
I thought we used to do it every time it was mentioned, Craig, didn't you?
I think way back in yonder years when we started.
Yonder years? What is this? Are we in some sort of fairy tale? Is this Game of Thrones? Yonder years, back on the North Wall. Can I pause you there, Craig, and ask you to do card of the show?
You can do. I am literally going to be a couple of minutes to finish off this one.
So that's no, is what you're saying?
No.
There you are. No, you can't pause him. Pam E is with you, Craig. She's singing Foam on a Roll. No, sorry. Actually, no. She's with George. She's with George. She's singing Foam on a Roll. Well done, George. Says 4 holidays. You didn't hear him 4 holidays.
No.
People are congratulating George, but they can't hear him.
Gotcha.
It's keeping that spirit alive.
Keeping it going. That's
Leading
what
from
we'll
the front.
That's what we'll love. So there we go. I'm just pressing that into the centre there. Then all that I need to do, Joe, is pop that over the top. Press that in. That's going to hold our shaker. What we can then do is take my glue onto the back. And then what I'm going to do, pop that into the middle. Let's take our sentiment. So this sentiment is from this stamp set. You can mix and match if you so wish. But pop that one on, and then there we go. There we go. There we are. So we've done our rotating stamp there, and then we've turned it into a shaker.
Beautiful. Now, let me share with you exactly what you are getting in here. Now, one would cost you $12.99 or $14.95. However, today you are getting all 4 of them. Wowzers, a blooming trousers, right? Butterfly wishes. You will get a meadow wreath, butterfly roses, and also the rustic botanicals as well. So snap those up. I tell you what, Craig, you have really, you've really gone through them tonight, haven't you?
We've got quite a few
that
done,
card of the show.
We've got quite a few done. Oh, look at that, it's the domino effects. So there we go. So let's go through. So we're on our glass mat. So number 1 here with the Dragonfly, number 1, number 2, intricate dies, number 3, statement dies, number 4, the creator card, and number 5 with a rotating stamp. So there we go, literally got a minute, if that, to do the voting for this one.
Amazing. Get your votes in. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. We've got a brilliant ink pad bundle for you, which is marvellous. And it's our quick dry ink pads. Brilliant to use in conjunction with your rotating stamps. You just see wonderful for your sentiment stamps too, which is amazing. Then you've got your baby blue in here. Chinese red there. Then this one here is your jet black. The parakeet. Then you've got the seal brown, that's the pine tree. We've also got the smoked emerald, the misty morning, and the orange in there too. $46.99, $17.99, saving you £13 or $18.50. Right, let me also share with you what you are getting with the tag punch. So this is the actual punch just here, which is fantastic. It's a really lovely, robust punch, that one. And what that does for you is it creates these 3 different sizes, which is brilliant. So you've got a 1.5, 2.5, and a 2-inch tag in there. You can lay them up, which is awesome. A couple of them or all of them, it's completely up to you. Think about doing them in different coloured cards and textures of cards also. You can create something really stunning. What you're also getting is all different stamps as well to finish off those tags. Best gift ever. I should know, I bought it. Love that one. This one says, a special gift you never knew you wanted. Amazing. This one here says, well, it's the thought that counts. That's if you've made someone a bit of a rubbish gift. You pop that on the side of there. I hate presents, said no one ever. Precisely. This is exactly what you did not ask for. That's also something I could probably put on a lot of stuff. Oh, that's upside down, that one, and that one. Warning, the contents of this may be awesome. And this is for you.
Me?
But I wish it was mine. There you are. 32.70 or 46.80. Card of the show, Craig or Bagel, is numero uno.
Number one.
Number one, which is amazing. I've got the two cards that you did earlier, Craig. So
I'll run across to you.
Yes,
in a
please.
second with this one.
So we've got number one from Wake Up Call. It's your rotating stamps that you can see there, which is this one, or number two, which is this one. Oh, hello. Or number three, which is this one. You can choose Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. The choice is yours. Right. Next up, we are going to go over to Craig or Bagel, who is going to give us some idea of what we can do with the tag punch.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at some of the things that you can do. And then what we'll do is we'll give you a quick demonstration of it if you've not seen it as of yet. Now this enables you to create 3 different widths of your tags. So 1.5 inch, 2 inch or 2.5 inches. It can be as long as you absolutely want it to be. Your sentiments that come within the bundle as well are going to fit perfectly onto all of them. Although what you can do is you can then start to incorporate your own stamp sets that you've got at home. Whether it's your cardstock, whether it's your pattern papers, you can do it. But don't forget, you can still do all your different inking techniques if you want to. And what's good with this one is the actual punch. It will then give you the edge of the punch. What it'll do is it will punch out the little hole as well, but it'll also give you an embossed ring all the way around as well. So if you do have it extra long there, you'll be able to see that you can use it as a bookmark if you want to, not necessarily a gift tag. And of course, if you are going to be doing bigger projects or that, you can still colour theme your tag to the present.
Awesome.
So that is some of the ideas which you can do. You do, as Joe was saying, get the twine as well. But let's go in with the punch, and it's so nice to actually get our hands on a crafting punch again. It's been quite a while since we've had anything new. So we've got our punch, and as I said, it does the 3 widths, 1.5, 2 inches and 2.5. All they're going to do is they're going to slot in at the bottom here. So I've got a piece of our multi-purpose cardstock, and I've cut it at a width of 1 inch. So all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it in the grooves there. And what we can do is pop it in as far as it'll go, and then all we're going to do is press.
Perfection.
Remove that. And then what we've got is the emboss ring all the way around, the emboss circle around the top of the tag. You can then, of course, have it a short tag. You can have it long if you want. If you want to come along and cut it at an angle, you can. If you want to die cut it with any of your fancy edge dies, you can absolutely do that. But of course, you can do your 2 inch as well. So all that's going to do exactly the same, slide it in. So as you can see, I've done it before just with the one hand pressing down. If you want to stabilize it and press, you absolutely can do. It's going to give you the same result. Or the way that I use most tags in the past, I'm going to feed up the 2.5, and then I just like to hold it into my hand and press, release. We've then got our perfect tag with that perfect circle, with that perfect ring emboss all the way around. So that gives you your 3 different widths. As I say, they can be as long as if you want. If you wanted it to be as long as A3 cardstock, you absolutely could do. It's the width that's going to change. So you've now got your tags, cardstock, pattern paper, watercolour cards, spritz, ink. Do all your different techniques onto them if you want to. But you've got your stamps included, you've got your punch as well, and of course you've got the twine as well.
Amazing. Mary says, is the punch fairly easy to press down? I haven't got much strength or feeling in my hand, Craig.
What I would suggest, if that is the case then, is yes, but I suppose it's easy for me to say because of the strength that I have. But you can, if you want to, if you do have any issues, if you need to go like double-handed, don't worry about putting too much pressure on. So if you feel you need to go double-handed to press down, you can then see it. What you will find though is the thicker the question, actually, and that was Erin that just asked that question, I'm going to call out because that's a really good question. The thicker the card, the more tough you are going to press down. It will work, but you are going to find it's going to be needing that little bit more pressure. So
is that a 310 you're using there?
So this is a 300.
So I mean, you're not going to get much thicker than that, are you? Maybe a 350, so...
No, not at all, no. I wouldn't go any thicker than like an Adorable Scoreable 350 because, you know, you don't want to put too much pressure on it. But yeah, the thicker the card, the more bit of pressure you're going to have to put. But as you can see there, don't worry about having to go two hands or that. It's not going to affect the punch. It's not going to damage it. Get that even pressure on the hands that you feel comfortable. Press, and hopefully you'll get on absolutely fine.
Amazing. 3270, 4680 is your price there on that. 2616, 3744 if you're a platinum member. Demo of the day, Craig, is going to the Dragonfly. Ooh. George called it. I mean, George calls it every day and hasn't got it right for about 2 weeks. But he's like, yeah, got it. Stand back, lads. Called it. So, yes, congratulations. Craig, I think you might get on there tomorrow as well, Craig, at this rate. Don't forget also, yeah, you're going to have two on there. Brilliant. Don't forget also about this, because it is an amazing deal that we've got. It is the Gemini season. Go over and have a little look on the website. There's a massive campaign on all things Gemini from now until the 18th of May. Which is amazing. On this deal, on this one, your original sized A4 Gemini, $179.99. Brilliant, brilliant price for a machine of this quality. We sell lots of them at that price, day in, day out. However, you've got something really special for this deal because it's going to give you over £100 worth of goodies included for free. And these are things that you are going to want to be using with your Gemini 2. It's not like when you go and buy a waffle maker and you get a free traffic cone or something ridiculous. You know, it's actual stuff that you're going to be able to make, you're going to be able to use in your machine. My machine was like, oh, waffle. Yeah. When I went to Brussels last weekend, Craig, weekend before last, I was literally like 63% waffle on the way home. I ate so many of them indeed. Let's share with you some of our mystery bags. Not so mysterious because I'm here, let's face it. George needs to give us the winning lottery numbers, says Gilmore. And he's quite that good.
Did you see that in the UK?
Was it last night?
100, no, this is from a couple of months ago. The Euro Millions.
It's been claimed, is it?
148 million. Still not been claimed.
Still not been claimed?
Still not been claimed.
I thought someone claimed it.
Unless someone's claimed it over the last few hours.
I thought it was last night.
No, it was on the news this morning that it still hadn't been claimed.
Imagine that.
So maybe it's been claimed then throughout the day.
Basically have stopped buying lottery tickets for this exact reason.
For that reason.
Now, imagine if I had bought a lottery ticket 2 months ago and I didn't know where it was or I'd lost it. I'd be driving myself round the bend, I really would. In this mystery bag, £30, $40, you get a full alphabet worth, yeah, you guessed it, £30, $40, amazing. You've then got tunnel cards, we have got edgeables, maybe double-sided, yes please, and also some of our stained glass windows, yeah, steamy, I always said steamy glass windows. Yeah, steamy glass windows. Want you to paint me like one of your French girls. Right, with a berry and some onions. Let me take you through the soft craft one as well. So this is your builder block, or BAB as we call it, which is a friendly greeting in Birmingham. You're right, Bab.
You're right, Bab.
And also, you've got some applique dies in there too, so really brilliant value. A great day of shows coming your way tomorrow. It's me and Craig Bagel again tomorrow, which is great. We've got Wake Up Call, of course, usual time, 11:63, and then we're back with launch day. What we got tomorrow? What are we launching tomorrow, Craig?
We are launching our brand new timeless edgeable dies.
Nice.
Absolutely beautiful as well. It's Thursday, what better way having a launch and of course cartload as well. As I would always say, certainly come tomorrow, we'll tell you within Wake Up Call. Thursday is definitely the day you want to shop ahead on the website because you're going to not want to miss out on some of the deals. What I'm going to say right now, coming up tomorrow, paper library. That's all I'm going to say. Check out the website tomorrow.
Yeah, during this we'll be seeing Dragonflies, Gilding Flakes, all hosts of wonderful stuff. And then of course, launch date and then myself and Craig Cartload, 6 PM, 1 PM, 10 AM. Well, it's been a brilliant day. Massive thanks to Craig. Big thanks to the team in the gallery. Big thanks to the team, of course, backstage as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening if you're here in the UK. If you're in Europe, I mean, well, actually, it's not quite bedtime yet.
Not quite yet.
Maybe think about getting a cocoa on the go.
Yeah, it'll be about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and if you are across the pond, of course, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here for another full day tomorrow. Au revoir.
Toodles.